Welcome to Chinese Novel Audio Wave. Chapter 101, Stand Up. Don't kneel. Seeing Yu suddenly burst into murderous and extremely cruel behavior, Liu Ruyue's starry eyes showed a trace of strangeness, and his fists seemed to be clenched for a moment. At this moment, you don't look like an extremely noble grandson of the Great Xia, but more like a cruel tyrant. You are simply too evil. She was planning to use some evidence to identify the perpetrator, but you just killed everyone. However, in comparison, she was even more shocked by the fact that your cultivation seemed to be improving a little too fast. Snap! You casually crushed the useless corpse in your hand, and found 3 magical treasures from Liu Zhao's space ring, as well as a longevity pill that can extend your life by 10 years. Obviously, these are the prices you got from selling it. It seems that you were quite valuable before. I accept the first gift. You looked at Liu Ruyue calmly. It is definitely a good thing to be able to find out a traitor in the Liu family in advance, so as to avoid information and problems being leaked from the inside. At the same time, this also allows you to initially see the intelligence strength of the women in Yanyu Zhang. Quote. Tell me about the second gift. At this moment, you seem to be interested in the next 2 gifts. Under your gaze, Liu Ruyue seemed a little uncomfortable, but he still endured the discomfort and refused to show weakness. Wuang Chentai went to the palace to report you. Although His Majesty ignored it, the Zhongjung Temple that manages the Great Xia royal family had other ideas. They thought that you, as a descendant of the royal family, were too ignorant of etiquette and customs, so they proposed to the Great Xia Emperor to arrange for you to enter the Imperial Capital University to study etiquette and education. Once the results are achieved, we can naturally arrange for you to return to your ancestral home. His Majesty has already agreed. I think someone will come to deliver the order soon. However, the angel who delivered the decree has received the money, so I'm afraid it will embarrass you. Snap! When you heard the news, your eyes narrowed, instantly hiding the surprise in them. The Imperial Capital University is the #1 university in the Great Xia Empire. It is also a world-class university that teaches cultivation, talismans, formations, alchemy, weapon refining, hunting ghosts, and other special skills. It brings together the top talents in the entire Great Xia Empire, as well as international students from various countries. It is harder to enter than to ascend to heaven. But this is not the point. The point is that Liu Ruyue and the people behind him could actually know about the affairs of the Great Xia Palace in advance. No wonder my uncle said that these people's intelligence capabilities are among the best in Daxia. This group of speculators composed of women is indeed resourceful. Who can guarantee that the person next to him is not a member of this Yanyu Sword Pavilion? Quote. Liu Gan's eyes moved, and he understood clearly. It seems that a noble in the Daxia Palace is most likely a member of this organization. Unexpectedly, they could achieve such an extent that they even infiltrated the Great Xia Palace. At the critical moment, it may play a huge role. He saw at a glance that Liu Ruyue's so-called second message was an intentional display of strength in order to intimidate him and force him to cooperate. But she seriously underestimated his ambition. The more so, the more he would not let them go easily and wanted to hold them in his hands. What he lacks most now is a source of intelligence. I heard that the leader of the Misty Rain Sword Pavilion is the most mysterious, with unfathomable strength. Almost no one knows his true identity. It would be great if we could capture him. Liu Ruyue calls her master, so I think we can take advantage of that. Etiquette education. You saw Liu Ruyue's intention to intimidate, but immediately smiled disdainfully at what he said. This is an attempt to use rules to restrain your hands, feet, and claws. If you want to restore your status as grandson, you must follow their rules. Trample, trample, trample. Liu Shou came in hurriedly, saying that an angel from the royal family had arrived, bringing the order from the Emperor of Man. You glanced at the disappearing Liu Ruyue. The timing was just perfect. Suddenly, Liu Shou discovered Liu Zhao's body on the ground, his face changed slightly, and you casually said that this person was the traitor of the Liu family. Liu Shou believed it instantly, flew into a rage, trembled with anger, and almost burst into curses. This is certainly due to the effect of talking nonsense, but your identity as the grandson is the biggest bonus. Quote. The emperor's order has arrived. Just when Liu Shou was cursing, a group of people came in forcefully. The leader was a dead eunuch who was so arrogant that his head was raised to the sky. He was obviously the angel. Instantly, all the Liu family members knelt down, including Liu Shou, the current head of the Liu family. According to the laws of Daxia, whenever the emperor's will arrives, the people of Daxia must kneel down to greet it wherever it is. The powerful ones, those with meritorious titles, can half kneel. You narrowed your eyes slightly, looking at your elder brother Liu Shou who was kneeling on the ground in front of you, and then looked at the uninvited guest in front of you. Your Highness, no, Your Excellency Liu Gan, the Emperor's order has arrived. The leading angel came in front of you with an arrogant look on his face, motioning for you to kneel down and receive it. So what if you are the crown prince? As long as you have not resumed that position, you are still just an outsider. Over the years, many unruly people have had to kneel before him. This time, he took the money and planned to intimidate you. But you didn't even look at the other person, and looked at the group of Liu family members kneeling on the ground, including some of your friends who you have known since childhood. Stand up. Don't kneel, you suddenly said. Your voice seemed to have some kind of power. The next moment, everyone present subconsciously obeyed your words and stood up instantly, with confusion on their faces, and some of them were unable to react. Liu Gan, you, the great summer envoy holding the emperor's will, has a drastic change of expression, looking at you in disbelief. This is simply blatant disobedience, slap 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 in the face. He has never seen such an arrogant person like you in decades. You, kneel down and read. You slowly sat back on the armchair, looking lazy, but the soul-devouring demon sword in your hand exuded a strong bloody aura, and you directed the other party directly. How arrogant, I belong to His Majesty, ah. The blood knife bursts out, and the angels and others who led the group have their limbs cut off by you in an instant. They lose their previous arrogance and lie in a pool of blood, screaming madly. The so-called emperor's will fell to the ground, motionless, stained with blood. Chirp, chirp, drag it away to feed the dogs. Chapter 102. Daxia State Master, Prince's Imperial Master, First Immortal Talisman Master, Zan Fuzzy. You don't even take the Great Xia Emperor, Lao Lao Dang, seriously, so how could you be afraid of a few dead eunuchs? A few useless things dare to make noise in front of you, they are simply looking for death. At your command, there is a special effect of talking nonsense all the time. Someone will step forward fearlessly and start taking action, dragging a few dead eunuchs out and preparing to feed them to the dogs. Your Highness, spare my life. I dare not do it again. It was concubine Chu who ordered me to embarrass you. Your Highness, please spare me. I am willing to follow you and become your vanguard. Question mark. Seeing that you were serious and really wanted to kill them, the angels, who were just so unruly, became dumbfounded, begging for mercy frantically, and shamelessly betrayed the person behind them. The same went for the rest of the eunuchs. The Mrs. Chu, he mentioned as Chen Tai's biological mother, the direct descendant of the Chu family, and also one of the most powerful women in the entire Daxia palace. Due to your appearance, the possibility of Chen Tai and many uncles to get promoted has been greatly reduced, which naturally aroused the jealousy and hatred of many people. No one likes you. However, due to your powerful strength, no one is willing to confront you head-on, so you can only resort to some conspiracy. But you are too lazy to play any tricks with those people, so you just start killing people, kill, 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 kill. It's just a villain simulation, so what if he's a little brutal? Soon, the yard was cleaned up, and Liu Shou personally brought the banquet and then left. Your Highness, if you do this, you won't be afraid of angering His Majesty and some other people. After all, they are people in the palace. Liu Ruyue appeared again. Unsatisfied. Then let him come and talk to me. You said casually, nonchalantly, and took the blood-burning emperor's will in your hand and opened it to take a look. I have to say that my old man Dang's calligraphy is quite good. With flying dragons and phoenixes, full of domineering power, it is indeed extraordinary. However, going to Imperial University to study etiquette. Ha, you're dreaming. You are not someone who can be controlled by anyone. Perhaps because he saw the disdain on your face, Liu Ruyue suddenly advised, Your Highness, I would like to advise you to go to Imperial University. Snap. You paused, and suddenly put away the Emperor's will in your hand, looking straight at him. Tell me about it. You naturally wouldn't think that Liu Ruyue said it for no reason, there must be some reason. This is the third gift we give you. According to special channels, your master, your father's teacher, the Great Xia State Master, the Empire's #1 immortal talisman master, Zhan Fuzzy, seems to be in the Imperial Capital University. Liu Ruyue spoke with a serious expression on his face. Question mark. Boom. Your pupils shrank and your hands couldn't help but clench a little. A land of ruins. Quote question mark. Zhan Fuzzy is in Imperial Capital University. Liu Gan's face changed slightly. He didn't expect to get such shocking news. He was not unfamiliar with Zhan Fuzzy. At the beginning, he used the name of this cheap master to scare Liu Ruyue and others. But the true identity of this person has never been known. It was not until later when you went south that you learned the horrific information about this man from your uncle Yang Hong. Zhan Fuzzy, the Great Xia national teacher, the deposed crown prince's teacher, and the Empire's #1 immortal talisman master. Although Yang Hong said that this Zhan Fuzzy was not a true immortal on land, he already had some corresponding means. In that battle, before the deposed crown prince Chen Zhan revealed his supreme emperor bone, everyone thought that his trump card was the immortal talisman master, Zhan Fuzzy. This was the real reason why Ghost Dr. Venerable, Liu Ruyue and others were frightened by the name, Zhan Fuzzy, before. This is a true, super boss. This person can be said to be the strongest backup left by our old master Deng. At the same time, he is the only one in the entire Great Xia capital who can possibly protect you. But after that battle, Zhan Fuzzy mysteriously disappeared and no one knew where he was. Even my uncle Yang Hong was not clear about the location. But now, there is news about Zhan Fuzzy. You suspect that the reason why your uncle Yang Hong was able to protect you and you were able to live for so many years was probably because of the Zhan Fuzzy, the immortal Fu master. During this trip to the imperial capital, you wanted to find this super boss. However, the trace of this super boss disappeared long ago, and it is almost impossible to find him. But you didn't expect Liu Ruyue to give you such a big surprise. You learned from Liu Ruyue that 10 years ago, a powerful aura suddenly leaked out from the Imperial Capital University. At that time, a very experienced member of the Yanyu Sword Pavilion happened to be present and recognized it as the aura of Zhan Fuzzy. However, the aura was extremely weak and special, as if there was something wrong with Zhan Fuzzy himself. But the problem is, if Zhan Fuzzy is really in the Imperial Capital University, why would the Great Xia Emperor, Lao Deng, want you to go? Aren't you afraid that you might have some thoughts after you come into contact with it? It seems that I have to go to Imperial Capital University. You frowned slightly, but quickly made up your mind. On the one hand, you have the talisman seed, but now you are stuck in a bottleneck in the talisman path. If someone can give you some guidance, you may be able to make further progress. More importantly, perhaps you can get in touch with the power of the true land immortal, in advance from this immortal talisman master. In a sense, even though your dead father cheated you, he still left you a lot of inheritance. However, the abandoned prince who had such a luxurious camp back then actually lost. This is enough to show how terrifying the current Great Xia Emperor, Lao Deng, is. Your Highness, how about these 3 gifts? Liu Ruyue looked at you with confidence and a smile on his face. I think we are qualified to cooperate with you. You nodded slightly. You have to admit that the other party's intelligence ability is indeed what you need most right now. Tell me your conditions. We hope to get a promise from His Royal Highness the Crown Prince. Of course, this promise cannot be made public for the time being, but a blood oath needs to be signed to guarantee the interests of both parties. Liu Ruyue said seriously. In exchange, the Misty Rain Sword Pavilion will provide you with the intelligence you want. If necessary, we can even take action on your behalf. Quote. Okay, I agree. Chapter 103. Liu Gan, Qi Wei, go down and slap him twice. You agreed to the cooperation request without hesitation and signed a blood oath with Liu Ruyue. Bound by the blood oath, once violated, there will be backlash and cultivation will not be able to go any further. Seeing you so happy and not changing your expression, Liu Ruyue was shocked. He secretly admired that you acted decisively without hesitation, and had the demeanor of a monarch. However, what she doesn't know is that for you, if you win everything is good, and if you lose you have no worries. If you lose, you'll probably lose your life. If you lose your life, why would you care about the blood oath? In a sense, you can definitely make money. Let's eat first. After finishing the discussion, you invited Liu Ruyue to have dinner, and during the meal, you began to inquire about some matters of Yanyu Sword Pavilion. During this period, you asked Liu Ruyue about his cultivation level. Liu Ruyue thought that you were already the number one person under the true immortal on earth, and you were expected to reach a certain position. You were no longer the dandy young man you used to be, so there was no need to hide it. She bluntly stated that her cultivation level was only at the saint level, but she had an innate sword body. Since childhood, a mysterious sword spirit had recognized her as its master. The sword spirit could possess her body for a short period of time, unleashing the combat power of the fifth level of heaven and man. Two souls in one body. You narrowed your eyes, somewhat understanding. No wonder sometimes you always felt that Liu Ruyue's behavior was a little different, a little contrasting. Wait, if the fifth level of heavenly power can only be unleashed when the sword spirit possesses the body, then the one who succeeded in the previous simulations of learning from the scriptures must be the mysterious sword spirit. According to Liu Ruyue, the Yanyu Sword Pavilion has no less than 10 core members who are powerful celestial beings, but these people have special identities and their strengths are either high or low. Only the Pavilion Master knows their identities. When discussing the identity of Pavilion Master, Liu Ruyue became a little wary and kept silent, unwilling to mention it further. Your Highness, I will stay by your side in a hidden way during this period of time. When you need me, I will naturally appear, Liu Ruyue said seriously. We have people at Imperial Capital University as well. If needed, someone will be there to take care of you. Okay. You nodded, and suddenly seemed to think of something, and asked the other party to keep the missing Su Mei. After arranging everything, you went to the Liu family's secret room to check on the Liu family ancestor, but he was still in a coma and had not yet woken up. The fact that you killed the angel who delivered the imperial decree and others was soon exposed and spread throughout the imperial capital. If rumors spread that you are cruel and ruthless, once you come to power, you may become a tyrant. King Wu Chentai was extremely excited and went to the palace to report you again, but the Great Xia Emperor, the old man, still had the same attitude, saying that you are just a child, don't be too harsh, just kill you if you want. This really d off Chentai, and he cursed Shou Deng for being arrogant and Lao Deng for being stupid. After learning about the situation, you did not immediately go to the Imperial Capital University to find the super boss, Zan Fuzzy, but instead stayed leisurely at the Liu family. I remember the one I used in Shanghai before, what's it called? It was pretty easy to use. Qi Wei, since His Royal Highness the Crown Prince returned to the Imperial Capital, he has taken office as the chief of the Magic City. Liu Zhang, the protector, reminded. Ask Tong Qing from the Imperial Capital General Office to transfer him to the capital. You gave the order directly. The current situation in the Imperial Capital is chaotic, and people's hearts are hard to understand. You need some loyal and useful people. It just so happens that the previous performance of Qi Wei, the deputy director of the Magic City, caught your eye. Although his strength is a little weak, he does a good job and is loyal enough. Yes, Your Highness. Liu Zhang stepped back and went to do it. Tong Qing, director of the Imperial Capital General Administration, attached great importance to your explanation. That night, he transferred Qi Wei from the Magic City and brought him to you in person. Snap. As soon as they met, Qi Wei knelt in front of you in front of everyone, and burst into tears of gratitude, Your Highness the Crown Prince. Qi Wei never dreamed that you, the second son of the Liu family, would suddenly become His Royal Highness the Crown Prince. Not only could he become the director of the Magic City, but he would also have the opportunity to enter the capital. What he did in Shanghai before was undoubtedly the most successful investment in his life. I have some business to do in the capital, and I need a dog that can bite people. Do you understand? Yu said with a smile. I am willing to die for His Majesty the Crown Prince. Qi Wei kowtowed so hard that the bricks on the ground broke. Tomorrow, follow me to Imperial University. The next day, Lu Zhang drove the car, Qi Wei sat in the passenger seat, and Yu sat in the back seat, heading towards Imperial Capital University. Perhaps your existence is too dazzling, and your every move is too touching. You can notice that since leaving the Liu family's gate, there seem to be many more prying eyes around you. It is obvious that someone is watching you in secret. Snap. You roll down the window and glance outside. Swish. Instantly, all the prying eyes disappeared, fearing that their lives would be in danger. The Imperial Capital University is affiliated with the Great Xia royal family. Every president is a member of the royal family. The last president was the deposed Crown Prince Chen Zan. Outside the Imperial Capital University, a large group of people gathered at some point, as if to watch the fun. Among these people, there are people from Daxia and people from various overseas countries. Several teachers from Imperial Capital University, along with a vice president, stood at the gate, with a horizontal banner hung at the entrance. What a grand ceremony! Who is the important person preparing to come? Even Vice Principal Chu Shang is standing here. He is a powerful person in the heavenly man realm of the Chu family. I heard that all subjects in the entire Imperial Capital University have stopped today just to wait for this mysterious old man to come. Haha, you may be ignorant. The person who came today is a real big shot. It is said that he is the grandson of the emperor who was left behind. Subscribe to Chinese Novel Audio Wave. What grandson? When did the Great Xia Empire ever appoint a grandson? Nonsense. I'm afraid he's a B*************************. D. Just when countless people were discussing, a Maibach was seen driving towards the gate. Sir Liu Gan, according to the order of His Majesty, you can only enter the school alone, and you cannot bring anyone else. You have to get off the car and walk to accept the school search. The school spirit of Imperial Capital University is strict. The leading vice president Chu Shang stepped forward and blocked the car. This man is from the Chu family and is the uncle of Wu King Chen Tai. His appearance this time is obviously to give you a warning. Instantly, the entire Imperial University became restless. Swish. The Maibach suddenly stops, and your voice comes from the back seat. Qi Wei, go down and give him 2 slaps. Chapter 104. Liu Gan, if you move, I will destroy the Chu family tonight. Long remember this. Boom. Qi Wei did not hesitate, his eyes full of desire for power and progress, he pushed open the car door. He wants to improve so much. Not to mention that the person outside is from the Chu family, even if it is my own father outside, I will get slapped twice. Snap, snap, snap. Chu Shang, who had been chattering non-stop, was slapped several times and instantly became stunned. The Chu family is a 1,000-year-old family. It is one of the 24 dukedoms of the empire and ranks 3rd. There are no less than 20 celestial beings in the Chu family. The ancestor of the Chu family is a 9th-level celestial being. Their strength is far superior to that of the Jiyu family and the Liu family. They are truly a behemoth. He, a senior member of the Chu family, a powerful person in the heavenly man realm, the uncle of Wu Wang Chen Tai, and the uncle of the future Great Xia Emperor, was slapped twice by a little jerk in the extraordinary realm. Swish. The entire entrance of Imperial Capital University fell silent in an instant, and everyone looked at this scene in disbelief. Digging. This is 2F********* G crazy. Who is trying to intimidate whom? How dare you? Vice Principal Chu Shang was instantly furious, his eyes bloodshot, and he instantly emitted the pressure of the 4th level of heavenly being, wanting to kill Qi Wei in front of him. After being slapped twice in front of so many people, all the dignity he had accumulated over the years was gone. Snap. The rear window of the car suddenly lowered, revealing your true face. You looked at the furious Chu Shang calmly. If you move, I will destroy the Chu family tonight. Swish. Chu Shang's face changed drastically, as if he was poured with cold water. He calmed down instantly, and the scenes of the Chu family's demise instantly emerged in his mind. Under the influence of the nonsense in your previous terrifying record, he almost subconsciously believed it, and even imagined the miserable end of the Chu family, and was controlled on the spot. For him, he might not be afraid of simple threats, but when it comes to his family, he is really afraid. Give him 2 more slaps to teach him a lesson. Snap, snap. Qi Wei didn't hesitate and slapped him twice more. Chu Shang, who was being controlled, didn't dare to hide. Qi Wei, come back. You called Qi Wei back and pointed at a teacher in the crowd who looked seductive and like a class teacher. Come here, what's your name? Your Highness. Master Liu, my name is Bai Jia. Get in the car and lead the way. It was not until you left that Chu Shang gradually woke up from the control of nonsense, and he seemed to be enlightened. My reaction just now was that I was in a nightmare. How could I believe it so instantly? My Chu family is the most powerful family in the Great Xia Empire, and we are also the royal family. Even the emperor of mankind would not dare to easily exterminate our entire Chu family. How dare that be ********** D say that? Chu Shang reacted and felt the strange looks from all around him. He felt his face burning and was furious. He wanted to go find you to settle the score. But when I think of your gaze just now, I suddenly feel a little flustered and my steps pause. Quote question mark. Nonsense. This purple talent seems to have a greater effect than I believed. As long as you have strong strength and background, what you say will almost become like a law, making people do it subconsciously, believe it subconsciously, and dare not resist. With Qi Wei's old-fashioned personality, how could he be so crazy and really attack the Chu family? How could Chu Shang, an experienced and determined person, be shaken by a single sentence? The effect of this fraud can be manipulated to a certain extent by everyone from ordinary people to high-ranking figures. Liu Gan watched the scenes of the villain simulator, and was shocked, but he also realized the horror of talent. This thing seems to be much more powerful than the turtle spirit and tiger body shock in some online novels. If it were any other Western country, they would probably come up with the title of God of Fraud and fool people in no time. Speaking of which, besides using this talent on others, can it be used on myself? Question mark quote. Tell me what I want to know. The Daxia etiquette class currently gathers descendants of the Daxia royal family or those above the rank of Earl. In recent years, it has begun to accept nobles from overseas countries in order to promote the culture of the Daxia Empire. Mr. Liu, the instructions received from the Imperial Capital University are to arrange for you to enter the Daxia etiquette class, for further study for a period of 2 years, and ultimately pass the evaluation and assessment by several royal family members from the Zhongjung Temple. Only if you pass the assessment can you be accepted by the Great Xia royal family, recognize your ancestry, change your name, and become the crown prince. By the way, Chen Jian, the legitimate son of Wu Wang Chen Tai, is also in the etiquette class. You just asked a casual question, and teacher Bai Jia explained the situation very seriously, and also talked about family matters, saying everything that should and shouldn't be said. From beginning to end, she didn't seem to react. In the Daxia etiquette class, Chen Jian was comforting and telling something to Luo Zili, who looked a little sad but had a peerless appearance. Zili, don't be afraid. I'm here. That little b************* D won't dare to do anything to you. You were also a victim in the previous incident. It has nothing to do with you. His surname is Liu, not Chen, and he is not the grandson of the Great Xia. Even if he has the courage, he would not dare to do anything to you or me. Grandpa is getting old and confused. He actually wants to recognize that little b******************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************* almost beaten to death by second uncle. I think that little b***********d is a traitor with eagle eyes and wolfish mind. Hee, Zili, don't worry, my father is the future emperor. I've already told my uncle to teach that little b******** a lesson. Chen Jian boasted about his great achievements to his fiancée with a proud look on his face, completely unaware of the approaching danger. Luo Zili, who looked as innocent as a white lotus, was also very excited. She nodded repeatedly, a strange look flashed in her eyes, and she secretly breathed a sigh of relief. Who could have thought that the dandy young man who was framed a month ago would suddenly transform into the wandering grandson of the crown prince, almost frightening her to death. If she hadn't slandered the son of the king of Wu during this period of time, something really bad would have happened. Quote. Brother Jian, you are so nice. Boom. The classroom door was suddenly kicked open violently. Chapter 105. If your father tells on me, I will beat his son. Boom. Under the gazes of astonished people, you walked in with Bai Jia, followed by Lu Zhang and Qi Wei. Quote. Lu gone. You looked around, and finally paused on a pair of astonished adulterers, revealing a malicious smile. Clear the place. Yes, your highness. Lu Zhang and Qi Wei, the two lackeys, stepped forward without hesitation and drove out the Daxia nobles and the bloodlines of nobles from various countries who appeared in the classroom. Many of these people recognized your identity and did not dare to act rashly, so they left quietly. Some overseas students who did not know you saw that you were not someone to be trifled with, so they also chose to follow the crowd. Of course, there are bound to be some troublemakers. Shit, what are you trying to do? I am a prince from the Kokang kingdom. How dare you? Ah. As soon as a dark-skinned prince raised his doubts, Lu Zhang broke his arm and threw him out like garbage. If you keep talking nonsense, I'll kill you. Listening to that noisy voice, you frowned slightly, full of murderous intent. Almost all of these people are nobles from Daxia and overseas countries. Killing them will cause considerable problems. But so what? Gurgle. Seeing this scene, many people's faces changed drastically, and they ran around like frightened rabbits, heading outside. They know that you dared to kill even the ancestor of the Jiyu family, so naturally they would not doubt you. No one wants to stay and face this evil god like you. If we disagree with you, someone will die. Damn it, how could he appear here? Didn't my uncle go to deal with him? Chen Jian's face looked grim. He couldn't help but clench his fists, and his heart sank. Could it be that my uncle forgot what I told him to do? That old B**************** D is really unreliable. It is obvious that the son of King Wu was extremely shocked and a little afraid of your appearance. Although he was cursing you happily just now, he still backed off when he saw you. The cruel and merciless person is rumored, appear. Zili, let's go and avoid the attack for now. There's no need for our precious jade to go head to head with some broken tiles. Chen Jian pulled his fiancée Luo Zili along and prepared to leave, not wanting to confront you, but at this moment, he heard a teasing voice, these two stay. Swish. Lu Zhang and Qi Wei instantly blocked the way of Chen Jian and others. Lu Gan, you are so bold. What do you want to do? I am the son of Wu Wang Chen Tai and the direct descendant of the Great Xia Emperor. How dare you touch me? Chen Jian's face changed slightly, but when he saw his fiancée trembling with fear in his arms, he immediately roared at you like an angry little lion. Be good and let your people give way. Quote. Slap your face. As soon as you finished speaking, Qi Wei went up and slapped the little B*********** D in front of him. Snap. The sudden slap instantly knocked the furious Chen Jian unconscious. Well, if you dare to let someone beat me, I will let my father. Snap. Chen Jian's teeth were broken by the slap. You were the one who gave me this slap. Your father. I was beaten like a dog by your father before, and he ran to the palace to tell the old ghost for help. Who do you think you are? You looked at the dumbfounded Chen Jian in front of you with malice and showed a kind smile. That old B********** D Chen Tai likes to tell tales on me, right? I'm not as mean as him. I don't tell tales on him. I beat up his son. Come, greet our King Wu's son. You clapped your hands. Lu Zhang and Qi Wei behind him acted like guardians, dragging Chen Jian, who was making the pig-killing sound, to a corner, and gave him a series of heart-warming kicks, and dragon fruit, and greetings. Gurgle. Luo Zili looked at her fiancé, who was also her biggest supporter, being dragged away and beaten up with horror. She was almost shaking with fear. At this moment, she has begun to regret that she shouldn't have cooperated with the Gu family to plot against you a month ago and cast a curse on you, but the result was a disaster. Master Liu, Your Highness, please spare my life. I was forced to do this. I was wrong. If you are afraid of death, just say it directly. There is no need to make excuses. Yu patted Luo Zili's head and said calmly, I am a narrow-minded person. I will take revenge on anyone who plotted against me. Therefore, the Gu family is gone. Last night, Bai Long went to your house. All 13 members of your family have been sent on their way. Now only you are missing. A month ago, the drama between this woman and Ji Yuao forced you to flee to the Magic City, and the beginning of your pursuit began. No matter what the reason is, there is always a price to pay. Luo Zili is in a daze, looking at you as if she is looking at a devil. She was just passive, auxiliary, and slightly hurt you and framed you for a while, but as a result, the whole family's household registration book was lost. Lu Gan, if you have the guts, come at me, don't touch her. Chen Jian, who was eating the dragon fruit, and heart-breaking kick, roared angrily. It is not difficult to see that he is a romantic man. He, maybe I can let you go. You suddenly laughed, a wicked smile appeared on your face, looking at Chen Jian, then at Luo Zili under your feet. Do you want to live? Yes. The desire to live made Luo Zili nod heavily. Question mark. Swish. You took out a hammer with spikes and threw it in front of Luo Zili. Go ahead, blow his head off twice, and you will live. Luo Zili's eyes flashed with mist, and your words kept repeating in her mind. She subconsciously took over. Zili, don't listen to him. I have already informed father through the blood item. Question mark. Boom. Bang. Question mark quote. Ah. A sharp scream like a rooster turning into a hen instantly resounded throughout the Imperial Capital University. Question mark. Boom. The door suddenly broke open. King Wu Chentai had a trace of anxiety on his face. Behind him, Chushong and several other powerful celestial beings suddenly rushed in. It was obvious that they had also received the news and hurried over. But obviously, he was still a step too slow. When he arrived, he saw his son in a coma, and Luo Zili holding a hammer, looking distraught. As for the rest of you, you were just like the spectators, watching the show with your hands in your pockets, and even smilingly greeted the other party. Hey, Lung Mist, you're here. Question mark quote. Jianer. ... Chapter 106. Lu Gan, I am a barbarian. Question mark quote. Jianer. King Wu Chentai was so excited that he rushed over and hugged the unconscious Chen Jian. His body was shaking. When he saw the 2 egg yolks on the ground, even his voice changed. This is simply going to destroy him. Chen Jian was his legitimate son and also his favorite child. He was almost the apple of his eye. But now, he was almost ruined. How could this not make him angry? Several Chu family members are staring at you as if they were facing a formidable enemy and standing in front of Chen Tai, fearing that you might suddenly go crazy and attack. Since you came to the imperial capital, what you have done can be said to be extremely crazy. They cannot guarantee that you will not suddenly take action. You had a smile on your face and looked at the scene in front of you with indifferent eyes. In the previous simulations, the Liu family was almost destroyed, and all the people related to you were killed. Under such circumstances, how could you let Chen Tai, the culprit, die so easily? Naturally, you also want him to feel the pain. Don't get excited. The person is not dead. He just got rid of the evil spirit. Even if he really died, it's just a son who died, not his biological father. Why are you crying so miserably? Wailing. Question mark quote. Lu Gan. Chen Tai's eyes were bloodshot. He was holding his unconscious son, daughter, staring at you intently, like an angry tiger, wishing to cut you into pieces. What? You want to go to the palace to complain again? You useless B********************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************* step, ignored the Chu family's immortals, and walked straight in front of him. Snap, snap, snap. Yu slapped Chen Tai's face mercilessly, with the utmost humiliation in mind. Let's go. To everyone's surprise, Chen Tai did not explode, but turned around and left, followed closely by the Chu family's immortal. Snap! Luo Zili was also knocked unconscious and taken away. It was obvious that her fate would not be good. You actually just endured it. You underestimated him. Lu Gan narrowed his eyes, somewhat surprised at Chen Tai's forbearance. His own son was abolished, but he didn't even say a word. This may seem cowardly, but the other party obviously realized the intention of the self in the simulator to deliberately provoke him, and did not fall for it. It seems that his sixth uncle is not as brainless and arrogant as he imagined. But something seems wrong. Chen Tai had suffered a great loss at your hands before, so how could he not have expected that you would attack his son? Besides, Chen Jian is in the same class with you. Isn't this a sheep walking into a tiger's mouth? In this case, why not pick up the person in advance? There is a problem. You look at Chen Tai walking away, and realize that he is not as simple as you imagined. I can tolerate this. Something seems wrong. At this time, a whining old man suddenly appears and yells at you, Lu Gan, what are you doing? This is the Imperial University. His Majesty asked you to come here to learn etiquette, and you actually beat up the royal family. How can a villain like you possibly be the grandson of the Great Xia? I will report this to His Majesty and will never allow you to join the royal family. According to the royal law, I will flog you. Why don't you kneel down and surrender immediately? This old man is called Chen Pang, and he is a royal elder from the Zhongjung Temple. He is of a very high generation, and he is also the chief examiner, responsible for evaluating you this time. Only by passing the other party's assessment can you graduate and restore your status as the crown prince. However, the other party's appearance seems a little too coincidental. Subscribe to Chinese Novel Audio Wave. You suddenly looked at Chen Tai who was walking away, as if you realized something. I underestimated you. You actually used your own son to plot against me. You are really cruel. Are you going to do whatever it takes to stop me from regaining my position as the crown prince? Obviously, Chen Tai knew that you would do something due to your arrogant character, so he set up this trap to cut off your hope of returning to your roots. I think, for many people, they naturally don't want to see a grandson who likes to harm his own people appear. At this moment, at some point, a large number of figures have quietly gathered outside, and they all seem to be paying attention to the scene before them. That person is the grandson who was left behind. He even dared to kill his own relatives. He is so cruel. How could such a person inherit the throne? What a violent personality, he might be a tyrant. Humph, my Great Xia Empire does not need a tyrant. Voices of discussion appeared one after another, and became louder and louder. Your Highness, please be patient for the time being. This old man is the current head of the royal family. It is not an exaggeration to say that he is your great-grandfather. Even the Emperor of Daxia must be respected. Liu Ruyue, who was hiding in the dark, changed his expression and persuaded you in a secret way. This is clearly a trap set by Chen Tai for you, in order to kill you and destroy your heart, and to cut off your possibility of restoring your identity. But no matter how she persuades you, you still look indifferent. You sneered in your heart. Chen Tai seemed smart, but he seemed to have missed something. That is, from the beginning to the end, you didn't really care about the position of grandson. You smart aleck fool. You've lived for so many years, and yet you still can't see things clearly. What does status and position mean to you? In Daxia, conspiracies and tricks are useless. The inheritance of the position of the Great Xia Emperor has always been the Xuanwu Gate inheritance system, from the beginning to the end. Is it important whether you are the crown prince or not? When you are strong enough, at the critical moment, someone will naturally put on a warm yellow coat for you. The Chen family of Daxia has always been a rebel family. Why did they need a saint? Reputation is useless. How dare you ignore me? Let me show you how I can teach you a lesson. The old man from the royal family became furious when he saw you ignoring him, and took out a whip. It is obvious that he intends to educate you in public. Why don't you kneel down quickly? Today I want to teach you how to respect your elders. Learn nothing. Who do you think you are? Get out. You suddenly kicked out, and instantly kicked the old man from the royal family away, spitting blood. How dare you? The old emperor vomited blood in disbelief. You want to use rules to restrict me. You are not worthy. I am a barbarian, I don't obey discipline, I only rely on the sword in my hand. If you want to teach me, ask my sword first, ha ha ha. If you don't accept it, please step forward. Question mark. Swish. The sword flashes brightly, pointing at everyone. The whole audience was silent. No one dared to look directly at him. They lowered their heads in fear of life and death. Chen Tai, who was walking away, suddenly stopped in his tracks, his face changed drastically, and he almost couldn't hold Chen Jian. Domineering and full of energy. Chapter 107, Rebellion. If there is a rebellious father, there will be a rebellious son. Old ghost, come and kill me. Domineering and full of energy. A familiar, extremely domineering, arrogant and unruly tall figure appeared in the mind of Wuwang Chen Tai. At this moment, your figure almost overlaps with that figure. He didn't expect that you, a member of the royal family who was stranded outside, could be so domineering, as if you were a natural emperor. The Great Xia Emperor, Lao Deng, has promised that as long as you pass the test and learn the royal etiquette, you can inherit the position of crown prince. This is equivalent to building a ladder for you. But now, you call yourself a barbarian and refuse to be disciplined. You openly removed the ladder and smashed it completely. This is simply a blatant confrontation. You're still relying on only the sword in your hand. Well, you're going to rebel. Moreover, he openly expressed his opposition. Question mark. You are going crazy. This is a fight to the death. Chen Tai's face changed drastically, and he instantly guessed the real purpose of your coming to the imperial capital. I'm afraid you are not here to be obedient and be a grandson, but to kill his father. He originally just wanted to cut off your path to becoming the crown prince, but it turns out you really don't care. Damn, he's really the second brother's offspring, even crazier than my own second brother. Moreover, since you even dare to chop his father, I will definitely not let him go, and it is even very likely that you will use him to test the knife first. Who made him plot against you before? Since then, the two sides have been fighting to the death, with no room for reconciliation. Crazy. Liu Ruyue, who was hiding in the dark, seemed to be stupid. He looked at you in disbelief and muttered to himself. How can you play like this? Wouldn't it be better to just be a good grandson, inherit the throne, and accumulate strength? Why do you have to play like this? Question mark. You only have one life. How dare you, Liu Gan, you are going to rebel. The old man from the royal family who was knocked to the ground was so angry that he couldn't help but shouting loudly. He originally thought that you came to Imperial University on your own initiative to be obedient, but it turned out that you were defying the will of the emperor. Question mark. It's totally lawless. At this moment, with the whole place in dead silence, only he, an old antique from the royal family, dared to speak up and question. Then I'll rebel. If there's a rebellious father, there'll be a rebellious son. At worst, I can let that old ghost kill me. You laughed loudly, pointing your knife at the palace, not afraid at all, and answered. You have the blessing from heaven, and great luck protecting you, so you won't die easily. In addition, you are in a simulation, so you are naturally not afraid of life and death. Moreover, there is an even more important factor, which is to force Zan Fuzi to show up. If this legendary Great Xia's #1 immortal talisman master really wants to hide, you will know for sure that it is difficult to find him. In this case, it would be better to reveal my identity as Chen Zan's son and see if I can make the other party show up. If there really is such an immortal talisman master in the Imperial University, even if the Great Xia Emperor is furious, I think he can protect you for a short time. If that's the case, what's there to fear? You still think the situation isn't serious enough. You didn't come to Imperial Capital University to study. If you want to accuse someone of something, you can always find a pretext. Why did the deposed Crown Prince Chen Zan rebel? Was he blinded by profit? Back then, there was more than just the deposed Crown Prince Chen Zan who rebelled. In the past he killed the Crown Prince, today he kills the Crown Prince, all his descendants have rebelled except him. Whose fault is this? Is it your Majesty's fault or ours? Question mark. If your Majesty is really afraid, it would be better to kill them all and put an end to it all. You can just be a lonely man. Question mark. Boom. Question mark. Everyone's brain exploded. You are openly questioning the emperor of Daxia and the deposed crown prince Chen Zan. Could it be that there really is some hidden story behind what happened back then? As the son of Chen Zan, how could you possibly know something? Quote. You. The old man from the royal family was shaking with anger, his beard trembling, the blood rushing to his head, and he could hardly speak. When did the Great Xia royal family have such a rebellious person? Snap. Chen Tai's feet went weak, and he almost collapsed to the ground in fear. He was supported by the celestial being next to him, but the daughter in his arms fell to the ground. Go quickly, His Majesty's thunderbolt is about to descend. Chen Tai screamed in fear. He knew that emperor too well. There would definitely be a big mess next. Let's go. Boom. The clear sky suddenly darkened, and dark clouds gathered, becoming extremely dark, covering the entire Great Xia capital. An invisible and vast power descended at some point. Instantly, the entire Imperial University was enveloped by this terrifying pressure, which almost destroyed everything. Boom, boom, boom. One after another, vast thunderbolts rolled in the dark clouds, like a sturdy thunder dragon, making a deafening sound. The intensity of that terrifying heavenly thunder far exceeded that of heaven and man, almost reaching a new world. But at this moment, you have a creepy feeling as if you are being stared at, and a suffocating feeling of death comes over you. This is the beginning of your villain simulation, and the first time you feel the taste of death. You suddenly raised your head and looked towards the sky, with a solemn look on your face. Obviously, a certain old man living in the Great Xia Palace is a little angry. Your Majesty is angry. The rest of the people below have already become a mess, running around in all directions, trying to escape. Chen Tai was so frightened that he peed his pants and didn't even want his own daughter anymore. He ran so fast that even the Chu family's celestial beings behind him couldn't catch up with him. Your Highness. Lu Zhang and Qi Wei both let out terrified voices and wanted to pull you away. Let's go. Liu Ruyue didn't care about anything else, appeared and grabbed your hand, wanting to drag you away. Back off. You shouted, telling them to get out. Right now, you have been locked into the aura of the immortal on Earth, and you obviously cannot escape. In this case, let's test the strength of the true immortal on land. After being scolded by you, Liu Ruyue and the others were stunned at first, and then obeyed subconsciously. Old ghost, if you want to kill me, then come on. Your face is ferocious, holding the soul-devouring demon sword, pointing it to the sky, and making an unyielding oath of war. Let me measure your capacity. Boom. As if in response to your declaration of war, the dark calamity cloud suddenly shot out a bolt of lightning, transformed into a thunder dragon, and attacked you. Boom. Emperor's Bone. Open. Chapter 108. Heavenly Officials Bless. Zan Fuzzy appears. Great Sage Huang Feng comes to protect his master. Trample. 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 You take a few steps, and your aura instantly enters the realm of heaven and man. The soul-devouring demonic sword in your hand bursts out with blood and energy, instantly merging with you, and entering the state of immortal sword demon. Soul-devouring blood light bursts out, sweeping in all directions, condensing the blood field. Those figures who have not yet had time to escape are instantly devoured, their souls and lifespans are taken away, and merged into your body. Several slower Chu family members, as well as the unconscious Chen Jian, could not escape your clutches and screamed. Third turn of heaven. Sixth transformation heavenly being. The lifespan you plundered is not enough, so you brazenly burn your own lifespan. At this moment, you feel the threat of death and almost start risking your life. Boom. Nine turn heavenly being. At this moment, you enter the realm of the ninth transformation again. Boom. The terrifying pressure emanating from your body is about to shatter the space. All the powerful people in the entire imperial capital are alarmed and look towards this side in disbelief. Under countless astonished gazes, a kingdom of blood, emitting an evil aura descended upon Daxia. With a loud bang, a terrifying, blood-colored demon suddenly appeared, holding a blood-red knife, and rushed towards the thunder dragon in the sky. At this moment, you have completely entered the state of immortal sword soul, and have merged with the soul-devouring demon's sword, a semi-immortal weapon. You and the sword have become one, and you are emitting the aura of a half-step true immortal. A faint voice of doubt suddenly emerged from the dark clouds, seeming to be somewhat surprised. Sheer a soul-devouring slash. Accompanied by a loud shout, you are like a demon, the blood-colored sword shines brightly, and you strike out with the strongest blow, killing the terrifying thunder dragon that is attacking you. Question mark. Boom. The terrifying thunder dragon was split into two, howling in pain, and was brutally slaughtered and swallowed by the blood-red light, shocking Xia. This madman, he actually wants to fight against our father on his own. Chen Tai, who escaped, stared at this scene intently, his face full of complexity and disdain, but he couldn't hide a hint of excitement. During the battle that year, there have been rumors that the Great Xia Emperor was severely injured and his lifespan is coming to an end, but this has never been confirmed. No one dares to really test a land immortal. Question mark. Right now, it is a rare opportunity. That crazy guy actually wanted to have a fight with Lao Deng. My dear nephew, if you can risk your life to accomplish what your father failed to do, your uncle will remember you for the rest of his life. A middle-aged man with an ordinary face stood in the palace, followed by a feminine man, who was watching the scene calmly. Your Highness, do you think it will succeed? I can't die. Your battle with the Great Xia Emperor attracted the intense gazes of countless pairs of eyes. Some of these people wanted you to die, some wanted you to live, and some wanted you to succeed. There are many ambitious people among these people. But the next scene disappointed everyone and also revealed the horror of the Great Xia Emperor. Boom! Another terrifying thunder dragon has arrived and is charging towards you. This time, there are no longer just one, but three. Question mark. Boom! You slashed out again, killing one, but you were immediately swallowed and suppressed by two thunder dragons. You were smashed heavily from the sky to the ground, and were directly knocked out of the state of immortal sword soul. Question mark. Puff. You spit out a mouthful of black blood, half kneeling on the ground, your body covered in blood, your eyes dripping with blood, staring at the sky. Is this the power of a true immortal on earth? You can clearly sense that the opponent has not yet used his full strength. At this moment, you deeply felt the terror of the Great Xia Emperor, but there was no fear in your heart. You stood up straight, trembling, without begging for mercy, and raised the knife again. Come on. Question mark. Boom. Another thunder dragon strikes down, and the earth trembles. You feel as if your whole body is almost burnt, but you still don't fall down. You old man, you haven't eaten yet, try harder. Question mark. Boom. You feel like you are losing consciousness, but you still insist. Ha ha ha, this hurts a lot, just like being beaten by a woman. Todoroki. Takashi. At this moment, the thunderclouds above seemed to be angered by you. They were gestating again and then erupted. This time, there are 9 thunder dragons. It is obvious that the old emperor has already developed murderous intentions towards you. At this moment, you are doomed to die. In a trance, you seem to be able to see your own demise, but at this moment, a golden light suddenly appears on your body. Snap! Beside you, the space suddenly shattered, revealing a deeply hidden secret realm. Inside the secret realm is a huge prison. A mad old man, with a shawl and a foul odor, controlled by countless shackles, suddenly appears. Question mark quote. Child, you shouldn't have come. The old madman lowered his head, as if talking to himself. Question mark. Boom. A mysterious fairy talisman suddenly appears, blocking you, swallowing up the 9 thunder dragons, and rushing towards the calamity cloud above. Boom. A terrifying aura spreads across the sky, and it seems that some powerful war is about to begin. Question mark quote. Zon Fuzzy. The target you have been looking for has finally appeared at this moment. Question mark. Swish. The old madman suddenly raised his eyes and looked at you. There was some deep meaning in his eyes, as if there was some kind of power that instantly entered the depths of your soul. The next moment, you feel your consciousness becoming hazy and groggy. That's enough. Isn't it enough to settle the score from that year? Do you have to make it all the worse? He is your. Indistinctly, you seem to see Zon Fuzi, emerging from the secret realm dragging shackles, roaring, fighting against the heavens, and blocking the Great Xia Emperor. Subscribe to Chinese Novel Audio Wave. Snap. You fell down, no longer able to resist. One after another, masked figures suddenly appear as if they are crazy and come towards you to kill you. Among them, there is a familiar existence, which is the blood demon. Obviously, seeing you lose, Chentai couldn't hold back any longer and wanted to kill you first, the biggest threat. Kill this little b**************** d and dig out the emperor's bones. During this period, Liu Ruyue appeared and tried to stop him, but he still couldn't stop the killer. Are you going to die? Your consciousness begins to blur, and just as you are about to fall into a deep sleep, a golden figure of the blessing heavenly official suddenly appears in your mind. Heavenly official's blessing. Boom. In the distance, a terrifying yellow sand suddenly rose up, like a natural disaster, and approached quickly. A nimble figure of a big yellow dog could be vaguely seen, running towards the table. Don't hurt the young master. Boom. You fell into a coma. Chapter 109. The extremely sinister old emperor. With the blessing of heavenly officials and the blessing of luck, I should not be able to die. Looking at the group of people who were reckless and crazy in the villain simulator, Lu Gan felt a little helpless. Is he that crazy? However, the ending is still acceptable. At least the simulation did not end so quickly. At least we have gained something. We have confirmed the existence of the Zan Fuzi, and that the other party does have the ability to temporarily defeat the Great Xia Emperor. However, why is the other party chained and imprisoned in a secret place? Was it done by the Great Xia Emperor? Also, does the sudden appearance of the big yellow dog mean that Yang Hong has been paying attention to the situation in the imperial capital? He seems to have been assigned to the hidden dragon land in the 100,000 mountains, but he still has an insider in the imperial capital. The many details revealed in the villain simulator also provided him with an excellent reference for his upcoming trip northward. Right now, he only has 3,500 villain points left, which is not enough for the next round of villain simulation. This means that the next actions can only be done by the main body. However, the content of the villain simulator that appeared next made his expression look ugly. You fell into a deep coma and suddenly had a strange dream. In the dream, you turned into a baby in swaddling clothes, and you haven't opened your eyes yet. You can only vaguely hear some people talking, and they seem to be discussing something, but you can't hear clearly. Suddenly, a hand touched your back, as if confirming something. Finally, it succeeded. A strange voice suddenly appeared in your ears. Let's get started. Boom. A chilling feeling suddenly surges into your heart. You desperately want to struggle, but the you in the dream is just a baby in swaddling clothes. Suddenly, a chill appeared on your back, followed by a heart-wrenching pain. Your Supreme Emperor bone seemed to be stripped of something. You start to cry, but the person who started it seems not to hear you and does not stop. You have been cursed, and part of your memory has been sealed. In a trance, you opened your eyes a little and saw a blood ring on the hand of the person who did it. Is this not a dream? Is this a memory from my childhood? My Supreme Emperor bone was tampered with when I was young. Who did it? Liu Gan's face turned extremely ugly, and he stared at the villain simulator. He didn't expect to see such a surprise. No wonder he always felt that his Supreme Emperor bone was missing something, and it didn't seem to be as expected. You know, the deposed Crown Prince Chen Zan back then was able to rely on the Supreme Emperor bone to fight against the true immortals on land as a celestial being. This means that Supreme Emperor bone must be extremely terrifying in combat. But in his body, Supreme Emperor bone is more of an auxiliary one. Now it seems that someone tampered with my body when I was young. But the problem is, back then, he was in his cradle and should have been well protected. First, he was looked after by his biological father Chen Zan, and then, he was entrusted to the Liu family by Yang Hong. Who can take action from them? Or is the person who did it among them? Swish. The first person Liu Gan ruled out was his uncle Yang Hong. Could it be him? That blood ring is the biggest clue. I don't know how much time has passed. When you woke up, you found yourself in the Liu family. As soon as you opened your eyes, what caught your eye was a huge shit yellow dog head, looking at you calmly. My dear, you are awake. Quote. Uncle Dog. When you see the familiar huge dog head, you can't help but feel relieved and at peace. The appearance of this big yellow dog means that his uncle Yang Hong has taken action. The dog uncle said that the reason he came here was because his master sensed that you were in danger and sent him to protect him. Luckily, it arrived in time, knocked the assassins who were trying to kill you away, and saved you. While you were unconscious, the entire Great Xia Empire was in chaos, with various forces appearing one after another and fighting each other. Among them, those who want to kill you are not only Chen Tai's faction, but also others. At that time, Liu Ruyue, the Liu family, Tong Qing, and Bai Long all stood by your side, blocking the assassins from all sides. What's even more surprising is that one of the 24 dukes, the 10th-ranked Shou family, actually took action and helped you withstand a lot of pressure. As for the military families, merchants, and other entities that had previously expressed their loyalty, not even a ghost was seen, and they once again became fence-sitters. Only when something happens can one's true character be revealed. This incident actually made you clearly know who is trustworthy. Bai Long, Tong Qing, and other independent cultivators, or those from side branches of aristocratic families, who were not taken seriously, were the ones who did not fail at the critical moment. How is Zhan Fuzzy? You grasped the key point in an instant and asked the most crucial question. You are still alive, which means that the Zhan Fuzzy has blocked the wrath of the old man emperor. Only the battle at the level of true immortal on land is the most critical. But the problem was that the situation of Zhan Fuzzy did not seem to be good at that time. It's unknown whether he's dead or alive, and his whereabouts are unknown, but the entire imperial capital university has been razed to the ground. Uncle Dog shook his head. A battle of that level was not something he could participate in. If his master was here, he would have been able to see something clearly. Young master, the master asked me to tell you that you were too reckless this time. The reason why Zhan Fuzzy, the immortal talisman master, was feared by the Great Xia Emperor was because he used his celestial body to condense an immortal talisman. That immortal talisman can play a significant role at a critical moment, but it's just one strike. Over the years, the old emperor has been looking for an opportunity to force him to use it, but there has never been a chance. Boom. You understood what Uncle Go said. It is obvious that you were plotted against by the old man emperor during this trip to the imperial capital. You were used as a pawn to force out the immortal talisman hidden by Zhan Fuzzy. And Zhan Fuzzy, who used the immortal talisman to help you avoid disaster, is obviously in danger. Afterwards, Chen Tai went to the palace to report you again, but the old emperor said it was just a child's mischief, exposing your previous actions. Chapter 110. Liu Gan, I have countless lives to play with you. How many lives do you have to fight with me? Damn, this old man is so sinister. You suddenly wake up and realize that you have underestimated your opponent from the beginning to the end. You thought you had become a chess player, but you were suppressed by the counterattack. In the end, you became a chess piece. Since you came to the imperial capital, the other party has been setting a trap for you, but you are completely unaware of it. Even the idiot Chen Tai is just a chess piece deliberately pushed out by the old emperor to confront you. No wonder the previous horrific thunder tribulation did not kill him, but instead left him with a breath. The purpose is to fish and force Zhan Fuzzy to come out. The old man emperor's method was silent and soundless, like a gentle spring breeze. It almost did not leave any trace, and he removed Zhan Fuzzy, your greatest life-saving talisman. No wonder the deposed Crown Prince Chen Zhan was defeated. It is extremely difficult to win against such an immortal old man. From ancient times to the present, how many people can kill their fathers and sons and still have the last laugh? It is simple. The old emperor's seemingly tolerant attitude towards you is actually more like flattery. It turns out that we can't underestimate anyone. You couldn't help but sigh. Although there are information gaps in my own experience, but a loss is a loss, and there is no blame. But you were not depressed at all, instead you were very calm. It was commendable that an 18-year-old young man like you could fight with an immortal who had lived for who knows how many years to this extent. Besides, you didn't really lose. Old Deng, no matter how cunning and sly you are, you would never have thought that we are in a simulated world right now. Even if I lose this time, I still have another chance. I have countless lives to play with you. How many lives do you have to play with me? At this moment, you deeply feel the shamelessness of the villain simulator. So what if you lose? I can restart at any time. In contrast, a certain old emperor does not have this opportunity. My young master, your previous injuries were too severe. Your lifespan was almost exhausted and your body was scorched by the thunder. I dare not act rashly. I will take you away. Fortunately, I found a longevity pill in your storage ring and gave it to you. It has briefly extended your life by 10 years. With the addition of many magical medicines, your injuries have been restored to normal. After hearing what the big yellow dog said, you finally reacted and discovered the weakness of your body. You were almost half useless and owed a large sum of loan from heaven and earth. If you hadn't killed Lu Jiao before and got a longevity pill, you would have died long ago. Wait, this is. Suddenly, you are surprised to find that you have broken through from your original level of 6th level Talisman Master to the level of 7th level Talisman Master without knowing when. There was even an additional golden talisman in my mind, emitting a faint light. 7th level Talisman, Golden Light Talisman. Golden Light Talisman, 7th level Talisman, a Taoist defensive talisman with powerful defensive power, plasticity, unpredictable changes, and the ability to simulate all things. This is what Zon Fuzzy gave me. You suddenly recalled that after Zon Fuzzy appeared, he seemed to glance at you, and then you fell into a coma. Obviously, at that time, he gave you an opportunity, helped you break through to become a 7th level Talisman Master, and also gave you a 7th level talisman. This talisman has great potential and can be further improved in the future. That old man, whom I had never met before, gave you such a great gift and saved your life just on our first meeting. In such an unpredictable situation, there are only a handful of people who treat you well. For some reason, your heart suddenly feels empty. In a sense, you killed the other person. But now is not the time to be sad for no reason. Uncle Dog, what's going on with my uncle, and what's going on with Hidden Dragon City? You let out a breath, looking at the big yellow dog in front of you, wanting to find out what's going on. In the last simulation, Yang Hong did not tell the truth because he was under surveillance, and you were unable to determine the situation. Right now, the Great Sage Yellow Wind, who has been following Yang Hong closely, is here, so I can ask him a few questions. Back then, in order to protect some people, the master's true body was mostly destroyed, and he was also placed under a restriction, unable to leave the Shiwen Mountains easily, and had to suffer the pain of the restriction every day. The big yellow dog obviously knew what you did in the imperial capital, and understood that your strength was enough to qualify you to know some things. At the same time, a powerful evil spirit was suppressed beneath the hidden dragon land, and it was suppressed by the master himself. Those people in the city were all the master's close followers. They have been following the master voluntarily, staying in the land of hidden dragons to guard against evil spirits. As for what the evil spirit is, I don't know either. I just heard from my master that this was also part of the deal back then. I see. No wonder Yang Hong always howled like a wild beast in the middle of the night when he was in Hidden Dragon City. Something must have gone wrong, and he was even banned. It seems that the old emperor was also on guard against him. Zon Fuzzy hides the mysterious immortal talisman, Yang Hong hides a supreme emperor bone. Neither of them is easy to deal with. However, since we cannot easily leave the Shiwen Mountains, it does not mean that we can get out. A crazy idea pops up in your mind, but you still need to verify something. Uncle Go, have you ever met the deposed Crown Prince Chen Zan? Of course I have seen him. At that time, that person often came to visit the owner's house. I am very familiar with him. The big yellow dog nodded and said seriously. Perhaps because of the owner's dislike for Chen Zan, the big yellow dog was unwilling to mention his name and only addressed him as that person. Is he wearing a blood ring on his hand? Your expression is serious. You suspect that the person who attacked you back then was your biological father, Chen Zan. You and your father both have the Supreme Emperor Bone, But in that great battle, in order to increase your chances of winning, Chen Zan may have drawn the power of your emperor bone to increase your strength. A person who dares to rebel against and kill his own father will naturally not be lenient towards a child. Under your gaze, the big yellow dog frowned, thinking hard, as if recalling something, and finally shook his head. No, little master, that person doesn't like to wear ornaments. Boom. This answer is obviously beyond your expectations. Thank you for watching. Continue exploring the fascinating world of Chinese novels with us. Hit that subscribe button on Chinese Novel Audio Wave to stay updated with our latest stories. And never miss out on a great listen.